Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Good evening, children of the night. Welcome back to another episode of the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is that eternal man in New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Essa. I will not die.
And the woman from Florida who has a bigger body count than the vampire Lestat. It is.
Hey guys, it's Lil Papa.
That's right, kids. Lil's back.
Yay, we missed her. She was the linchpin that held the show together, which is why we recently fell apart.
Wow, thanks a lot. All right.
Sorry, Phil. I love you, Phil, but you know we'll help her.
The whole operation fell apart. Okay. Had 2 interviews.
I kid because I love. Come on.
Humor, jocularity, haha.
It's for the fans who missed her also, Phil. Do not take everything personally. Obviously,
I don't know.
Phil keeps all the wheels on the wagon. But you
Wait, is it on the wagon or off the wagon?
Well, I'm always off the wagon.
It's on the wagon. How do you think they got the alcohol from one point to another?
There we go. But that's
go ahead, throw it in.
All right.
Okay, I know we're not gonna talk Werewolf by Night, but I do just want to shout out because if you're a Lost fan, Michael Giacchino, who was like the composer for the show, directed it, and he also composed for the movie as well. So, as a Lost fan, I would be remiss without mentioning it.
All right. Yeah, Charlie hasn't watched it yet.
I didn't. I was told
It's
to
okay.
watch
No, it's
another
fine.
thing.
I was just like I said. I'd be remiss as a Lost fan. I didn't want to get into the whole thing.
Oh, there's another.
I wanted to. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean,
There's another big
maybe
Marvel
be
character in
interesting.
there.
We'll discuss it recently in upcoming episodes of Super Connectivity.
Oh, oh yeah, because there's another big Marvel character in there.
I'm
Yes.
sure there is. There's probably lots.
Oh boy.
A giant size one, if you will. All right. All right. So, yes, our assignment for tonight, though, was Interview with a Vampire. The first episode came out this week. So,
Well, the first 2 episodes, if you have AMC Plus, I do because I have Shudder, and it was like a free deal or something. I was like-
well,
so I got to see the second episode too.
we just have regular
Oh.
we just have regular AMC, so we only saw the first episode.
I also, see, you actually could see the first 3.
Yeah, now it's
If
up
you-
to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I know when I was looking, it was like, I can watch the first 3. But I was only told to watch the 1.
Yeah, because most people have only seen the one. Like B-Real, who has AMC Plus.
I know.
Phil loves Better Call Saul and doesn't even have AM Plus.
Better Call Saul's
AMC
over.
Plus. I know. I'm just saying, you didn't have it while it was there. You could have saw that.
I
early,
know.
too.
I know.
How many platforms do you want me to get?
Like I said, it
Tristan
was free.
wants to watch Breaking Bad, so I have to watch
Oh,
that with him this weekend. So
science.
He is the danger.
I know. Well, the thing is, I think he's going to be bored by it because it's drug dealers, and what's cool about that?
Whitey Tighty's in the desert, baby. You can't get cooler.
No,
than
Jesse Pinkman. He'll like
Get it?
Jesse Pinkman.
Well, what we're gonna me and him, we're gonna do it. So after we watch Werewolf by Night, we'll try and watch some Breaking Bad because I know we're 5 years behind on it. But
And then if
Like
you
10?
he wants to know the context of the memes. There are many memes.
and then if you like that, you
He
can watch.
needs to know the context.
And then if you like that, you can watch the prequel, Better Call Saul. What was that, 6 seasons?
Yeah.
We will certainly watch it if that is what. That is
Don't
what the
forget
trial watches.
the movie too. You gotta watch the movie.
There's a movie.
Oh, Camino.
Yes.
Is it a Breaking Bad movie?
Yes,
or?
it's a Breaking Bad movie. After the show, you have to watch the movie.
Tristan knows.
Okay, I'm sure Tristan knows way more than me. That's all I know.
So, yeah, let's get into this whole thing. As a huge Vampire Chronicles fan, I was not really excited. This has been in development hell forever. Anne Rice, of course, passed away not too long ago. Didn't get to see the show come to fruition. Her son is running everything. And he's a lovely man by all accounts, by the way, guys. So
yeah, no, I mean, okay. So, biggest issue in this. So this is what I like to call an MCU version of the Vampire Chronicles. Which means it is not in any way related to the original source material, except in the sense that there is a thematic that they are taking and bringing forward and now discussing in the context. And most importantly, and this is one thing that I don't feel was treated with the weight that it should be, but is actually a fair cop, as we say in the business. Louis is no longer a slave master; he's a pimp. But
same
still,
difference.
Exactly, it is still owning humans, exploiting humans for profit. And we can all say, "Oh, but he is Creole, and isn't that all so woke?" But it's like, yeah, but he's also still, in his own way, a very cruel and monstrous human being. Which is why Lestat loves him. So, bravo, beautiful monsters.
I mean, I do like the angle. The angle I like is that, you know, since this is so far after the book, even after that original movie and stuff, it's like we can kind of explore, oh, hey, that reporter has aged how many decades?
Yes, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, and Louis is still the young guy, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, and honestly, I think we can all agree that Christian Slater has not aged well. He is definitely he definitely hit his peak when he had the original tapes, and but it's neat. It's neat in the way that it's described. Although I guess within the context, are we supposed to assume that Lestat happened after this, but it was just all subculture stuff? And so that, yeah, after he storms out, maybe he doesn't get picked up by Lestat, but Lestat does in fact awaken. So,
well, Lestat doesn't attack him in the... Wait, I'm trying to remember. Does he attack him at the end of the book?
Well, you know how, if you know the Chronicles, then you know how Armand told him to go live basically a human life. And if we're going off that timeline, it seems like it took him an extra 100 years and ended up in New Orleans with Louis. So the timelines, we can't count on the timeline is my point. So
yeah,
maybe we'll get Lestat. Who knows? Maybe we'll get that whole thing.
I mean, truth be told, from the way that they present it, when he laughs at the fact that Louis' name is Louis, you know, which may be from the book or not, I don't know. But I do feel that there's this implication that there's been time past, and how people have dealt with the time past is open for interpretation, let's say. But as it stands, it's an interesting presentation of it. I think the brother Paul is a very interesting character whose entirety exists in this first episode, as far as I know. Because I don't know if I got where he went mad, but we know he went mad. And I don't know if that was supposed to be a syphilitic infection, because obviously his family is in the sex trade at the moment.
And too. I mean, look at the year we're in, the era we're in. I mean, it could just be some kind of undiagnosed condition too.
Consumption.
Well, yeah.
I mean, psychological or anything.
I mean, well, I'm trying to. Well, and again, speaking of undiagnosed conditions, that's where syphilitic madness.
Well, yeah, pretty much anything you could have could be an undiagnosed condition back then. Yeah.
I mean, really. Well, hyper-religiosity. And it's an interesting question within this context about hyper-religiosity. Hyper-religiosity is a real diagnosable mental disorder. Basically, it's cool when you talk to God. When God starts talking back, that's when, doctors need to get involved.
I am God.
Yes, but in this context, you have this person who arguably was at one point close to Louis. And you imagine that there was a time when they were young children that this disorder did not come between them, but as they've grown into men, now the differences become profound. And it is also notable that they are Catholic, which is because that's the whole point for Paul in this is like.
Well, and again, Aunt Rice, so makes sense.
Well, yeah, but the idea that the sister is marrying into a Baptist family and may have to jump a broom, and the well, to be fair, Philip, you can clutch your pearls all you want, but there is a lot of pagan imagery within jumping a broom, and if you know, you know. So they were. He is.
I just want to have fun on a broom.
He is worried about the purity of their beloved sister, who may gasp jump a broom, which is, not in the Catholic Mass tradition. I do wonder how much magical faith will come into this, because it does seem like they set it up as a power set. And again, in the eye of madness, it feels like Paul does see Lestat for who he is.
Well, let's not forget they're also in New Orleans, so that's a whole thing.
Yes. I did like the line where, you're running over a white person. So he's not white, he's French.
Even worse.
Yes, although what makes me laugh about that was just something that when I was a younger person, and speaking of living in Newark, where there were a lot of African immigrants, I would make the point that that was a difference. That these people are just immigrants like my father was. How could I think anything weird about them any more than my own family was weird? So, and this idea of just stating that there is a differentiation between those who are steeped within the mindset and those who are simply parties to it. But anyway, moving right along.
But I was just surprised AMC gave them so much leeway on the nudity and even
they had to. They were trying to be more faithful to the book.
Including
levitating orgasms. Finally, levitating orgasm representation. Bravo!
Lil thought she was by herself in that.
Just what I always wondered.
I mean,
it's a book thing, and I'm happy that they actually addressed it. I always wondered. Look, listen, this show is like if the Vampire Diaries from the CW and True Blood from HBO had a baby. This show is bat sane and crazy. Bat guano crazy, and it relishes in that fact.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised, just because it's like Walking Dead, their big money maker. They give,
that's all done now, right? So they need
they're on the last part. Well, they're on the last part of the last season of the regular show, but then they got a bunch of spinoffs coming. But I'm just saying,
nobody's showing up for John Hamm's Mad Men anymore. You got to up the ante now in this day and age.
I guess, but I'm just they didn't give that to their money maker.
I mean, when you get the Vampire Chronicles, there's a lot of risque things going on.
Oh, and then
you're gonna appease those fans.
And I guess we're doing a whole universe out of that, because it didn't say the Mayfair witches are coming the beginning of next year or something. Wow,
it only took 2 decades for them to become a thing, to actually certify it as an actual part of the universe. But it's fine. I'm not bitter. Not bitter.
Oh no, but even if it wasn't, they'll make it. They're like, oh, Anne Rice wrote it. Let's do it.
No, I don't think if she hadn't actually made it canon when she did, they wouldn't. Because her son is kind of a stickler. Which is why I think we got the levitating orgasms, honestly. Her son is a stickler. He gave leeway on some things, and then he's like, well, if you're going to do this, we got to include that.
I just want Rosie O'Donnell and Exit to Eden 2. That's all I'm asking. Look, and I'm sure she was embarrassed by it, but, for a young person who was madly in love with Rosie O'Donnell, that was my touchstone. And so, it is what it is. Moving right along. Okay, that went way under the radar. No one even knows what Exit to Eden is.
I know what. No,
we know what it is.
We were shutting up for drops, sir.
Yeah, it's I mean
protocol.
that's not for nothing. That was something I had raised with people recently. Was with regard to Velma's recent revelation, it's like
she's always been a lesbian. They just finally actually made it canon.
Well,
what is understood doesn't need to be spoken.
What I'm going to say is I have been in love with Velma since her name was Zelda Gilroy, who was a very famous lesbian.
Well, yeah, we all know that Scooby-Doo is a blatant ripoff
yeah,
of
but no,
the
but
mini
the point
lesbians.
is
We know.
My point is, I have a type. That type is lesbian. It is a very unfortunate type to have.
Talk about playing hard to get. Jeez.
Yeah, well, they're just so cool. What are you gonna do? It's just
That's where the whole Rosie O'Donnell thing comes in. Okay.
exactly. No, honestly, there was a point in my life where I was like, every single one, every woman I find attractive is a lesbian. What is wrong with the world? Well, what is wrong with me, perhaps? Because it was a quick thing. Because loved Ellen DeGeneres, loved Rosie O'Donnell, love Paula Poundstone to this day. It's just like, man, why don't you sex me up? I cannot catch a break. Still love Zelda Gilroy. So I've just resigned myself to that reality. Why don't you sex me up? Anyway, getting back to this story, Paul's death.
Oh, yeah, right off that roof.
Yeah, I did not like that.
I kind of saw it coming, because I'm like, why would you take someone like that up to the roof? You know how he's like. You know what he's like.
Well, but just the idea that...
Just for chaos, babes.
Oh, yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah, I mean, that... Well, no, but more to the point... So, okay. So, this is at once a low point for me, but also a high point for me. Because this is where he says, this is my last sunrise. And that was the one gift the darkness gave to me. Which makes it a separate gift from being just allowed to have another sunrise before Lestat takes him. This is him in this moment, having this moment of this sunrise with his brother as his brother kills himself. But again, his brother choosing to kill himself, which again, if he is truly dealing with hyper-religiosity, I don't know if that's a choice he would make. I mean...
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's more than hyper-religiosity, because wouldn't he... Well,
because the idea is that... I mean, here's the thing.
Is he just so far gone that he doesn't even think of it as suicide? He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to,
Well, because that's the thing. It's like the idea, and that's the idea of walking on water, is that if your faith is enough... But I don't think they really established that he felt he could step on air and walk on air.
I think he thought he was going to ascend to heaven or something.
Yeah, but that was the idea. But it's just like, I don't, and if they did say that, maybe it was just too subtle. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I'm the dumb guy. And that's entirely possible, because I usually...
One thing about this show is it is not subtle. So.
Yeah.
Like a fist through the head, it is not subtle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Lestat in this. He's kind of a Chris Hemsworth type of idiot. Well, the joyful idiot with super.
A himbo.
He is totally a himbo. He is and that's no offense at Chris Hemsworth, no offense at the actor.
He knows what he is, and he relishes
but he
in it.
was asked to play a himbo, and he is himboing it up. He is Sergeant Wojciechowicz times 10, and that is a delightful thing, because it is the idea, which is also the idea of the Vampire, which is that they just don't care because they're not dying anytime soon.
Oh yeah, that's why I always took it as like, yeah, especially Lestat, that it doesn't care. It's just like it's bored at certain, it's just like, well, the old Lilith Hellfire card. Let me just throw some random gasoline on this fire. Let's start some chaos. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I like on a lot of levels what he does in this. I like on a lot of levels how they establish it. I like that they do state that he is Creole, although I do feel That's an interesting question, is whether or not he is being treated as a Creole or if he is treated as black.
Well, they kind of make it the whole thing. He has to do this because he's seen as black. So I don't know. Maybe he didn't pass the paper bag test. Maybe that's what that's all about.
And to be fair, it does look like his family does not quite pass the paper bag test.
Yeah, so I think that's what that's all about.
Yeah, so it's like they still feel they are Creole and are
they can be, but does the community recognize them as that?
Exactly,
because race is a phenotype. So
and honestly, that is why Hispanic has white and black on the.
No, that's just America being America. But anyway,
no.
Especially back then.
No. I mean, you can say that, Lilith, but trust me, there are people for whom that is an issue where they will insist that.
I know what you're talking about.
I know you know what I'm talking about. It's Uncle Ruckus,
Well, that escalated quickly.
Uncle Ruckus. It's like I have all these white ancestors. Don't tell me who I am. And that is fine. And that is honestly fine in its own way. But it does become an issue in this context because he is almost there. And I think he feels he is almost there. And, which is
Louis not going to get him there, so he's made a grievous error.
Yeah, well, honestly, but at the end of the day,
he'll get him somewhere, but not to where he thought he was going.
Yeah. But anyway, it is delightful in its simplicity. I like the idea of this being the universe in which the interview with the vampire never got written. That basically he lost his tapes because Louis took the tapes when he threw the drug-addled Gonzo reporter out of his San Francisco hotel room. Because that's the implication, is that he had this opportunity when he's interviewing a vampire, and he loses it because, honestly, probably because he just spoke a little too much truth to power, and the vampires don't like to be told that, you're kind of a jerk, really. It's like,
Well, especially that original interview. What was he, in his 20s or something? To Louis, it's probably like, oh, you infant, you infant. What do you say? It's like it's like a 3-year-old trying to tell you the way the world is. It's like, no.
You know what? No. It's like when Hawkeye calls out the Celestials.
I'm better than a mailbox, damn it.
Well, he is, but that's
babes, you're not.
You know what? But the point is like the only reason why the Celestials are making this judgment is because they can. They just have the physical power to do it. There's nothing special about being a Celestial. There's nothing special about being a human. You're just another powerful entity that is going around passing judgment on things with no real understanding any more than anyone else has.
Giving collective species the finger.
Well, yeah, but that's the idea, and with vampires it's even worse because they don't even think they're better. They're just, in fact, sometimes they actually think that they are just. We are bound by the force of the darkness and the night and the yada yada, and it's like, really? You really think the night has that much time on its hands that you're so special to it? No, you're just some weird mutation that now drinks blood. Congratulations. You're a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and there's a meteor.
You think they have the balls to do Minoc?
Oh.
I feel like if it goes long enough, we might get that.
I mean, yeah,
especially
depending
if
on...
we're going to get the witches.
Hell, let's do Tale of the Body Thief. Someone swaps bodies with Lestat. Let's do that.
Hell yeah. I think if the ratings are good enough, we can see all of that come to fruition. I just don't want them to burn through it. Like, I don't want them to burn through the material.
Well, that's always the difficulty whenever you're doing these things.
Because they're laying a lot of Easter eggs out, and you're just like, wait a minute. That's how I know that, well, because I've seen the first 3 episodes, I kind of know that they are throwing Easter eggs out, and that's why the timeline is out the window.
Well, I was going to say, how many episodes is the first season? Because I mean,
I want to say it's either 10 or 12. I know it goes through December.
Here, I'll look, but I mean,
I only have the first 7 up for titles and stuff that they've talked about, but I know it goes through December.
Yeah.
So.
I will say this: I am very excited to see Lestat have to remember that. Oh, now I have to poop. And I think that in and of itself is worth anything we have to get to it. Just that idea of, it's like, no, I'm going to stay the body thief because this is why you gave up this body, dude. What, that you really wanted to poop that bad?
Who is this, the Beyonder?
Beyonder? Yes, thank you, Phil.
Teach me how to urinate.
Why do we have that drop? No.
The ultimate spider cast. Howard did not go with all the boys, though. Told you, don't leave us alone.
Yeah, apparently.
No, I invented that, you dick.
Yeah, I mean, all things being equal, I mean, there's a lot they can do, and there's a lot of new stuff they can do. Like I said, it's the MCU version of it, which means they can reference things, but not actually even deal with it. It's like the most recent episode of She-Hulk, where,
Matt hears heartbeats, that's all I know.
Yeah, well, no, but the idea is that,
There's a few things.
They call the guy Eugene, but then they also call him Leapfrog, which is the Daredevil villain name, which means we didn't actually use the beloved character, we used a variation on it. Same way that they did with Nuke in Jessica Jones. We can roll this character out, use parts of it, but we're going to change it just enough. We're going to David Banner it instead of Bruce Banner it. And you're going to say, well, it's not the same character. It's not exactly what it's supposed to be. So, so they can do a lot. They can burn through some quick lore for fun, throw out some Easter eggs. And then when they get around to it, they can do it up proper.
Unless this isn't the complete list, the one I see has 7 episodes, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about. It's not the complete list, because like I said, I know it goes through December, so that I don't know if it's 7, if it's 10 or 12.
Yeah, because episodes...
Because they're not doing a full, 22. They just don't.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think anybody does
especially
full 22
not with
anymore.
This, the budget, production value
yeah.
on the show.
Yeah,
There's no way.
But yeah, I mean, they might not...
This is a quick turnaround, though, so I was very shocked by the production value, actually, because they only filmed for, I think it was 5 months or something like that.
Yeah, but they might have burned too quickly, because they didn't turn them till, the end of the episode. I mean, we got much more Louis' backstory than in any other version of the story.
And to be fair, in the movie, and the books, for the most part, Louis is kind of just there, but they're, trying to make him an equal, lead or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically just I was a plantation owner. Oops, I got bit.
I mean, I literally don't care. I'm only here for Lestat. I'm just going to be real with you.
And to be fair, that is
Preach.
why Lestat's the better book. That's at Charlie Esser.
No, nobody's going to argue with that.
Nobody in this room's going to argue with that. Yeah.
Even Anne Rice thinks that. So, thought that.
But what I will say, and that's the thing, is it is in this idea that Louis' life begins when he becomes a vampire. And yes, he had a life before being a vampire, but that was 20 of his 200 years, which means
just
it's
a drop in the bucket.
Exactly, just it's sort of like, I don't know if you guys are fans of Doctor Who, but there's the one person that Doctor Who makes immortal, and Doctor Who was like, oh, but what about your fans? It's I have not seen those people in 300 years. Do you really think...
Just because your wife jumps through time to see you...
Exactly. It's that is not the most pertinent relationship in my life right now, Don't ever make anyone immortal, especially without their consent. That's cruel.
Yeah, Lestat.
Yes. Well, for realsy reals.
But...
Well, I don't know. Does he consent? That's an interesting
I mean, he can read minds, so even if he doesn't say it...
That's even worse!
I know, but...
I need verbal consent all the way through. That's just how this works.
Oh, yeah.
Now, just out of curiosity, Paul knew that Lestat could read his mind, and that Lestat could put his words into Paul's mind. See, that's always what I wonder about that. And it's an annoying thing to have Paul be dead so quick, because that trope of the mad prophet.
I think that was just a thing, so, Paul could be the one to say it, but everyone else is like, oh, he's crazy,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we know it to be true.
Yeah, oh yeah, the audience knows it, but the rest of them are just like, yeah, no, he's just crazy. Yeah. No one can read him.
But again, it's so weird, because again, look where they are.
I know.
I'm just saying, look where you are.
You mean on top of the roof or just in Louisiana?
Just in Louisiana in general. So it's just like, I don't know. That's how I'm just like, I don't know.
I know, they probably believe in voodoo, but they don't believe in reading minds.
This family's a little too bougie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Honestly,
well, the money's rolling in, Lil Hellfire.
I would
they're nouveau riche.
To see some voodoo in this. I would love to see Marie Laveau be like, no, vampire. Know your place. You know, it's like, yes, you're very cute. You're a vampire. You're immortal. We all appreciate you.
But you're still a part of the undead, and necromancy is a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And not for nothing. It's and there's lots of things that have dealt with that sort of that hierarchy where vampires always think they're at the top, and then they meet everyone else. They're like,
Then they meet their
it's
queen.
like when the vampire meets the mummy, and the mummy's like, no, dude, I actually am immortal. I actually go to the land of the dead, and then I come back all the time. I've got like a frequent flyer pass, and whatever you are doing, friend, I don't know.
But then the vampires are like, yeah, but look at your bandages. Are your clothes as cool as mine?
I don't know. When they take the bandages off, they're usually pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to say that Boris Karloff was a looker, but man was immortal.
Deep cut alert.
Yeah, there you go, man. I'm just going to say it. Or the actual girl in that story, who I forget which of the great Universal Scream Queens it was, who was the female mummy that Boris Karloff was after. So,
are you my mummy? Sorry.
Yes. Scariest words ever said in a Doctor Who episode.
He wanted to be with her. He wanted to tie her down.
Yeah, well, But, as it all goes, it's.
So you will be watching, or?
Oh yeah, it's on my tape. It's on my tape because I set it up on my DVR, so now it's going to tape every episode. I am excited about it. I am looking forward to it. I want to see how they explore it. And to be fair, this is one of the things I will say is that I like when they approach a topic, but say we're not going to just do a retelling, but we're going to reimagine it. Expressly because now I don't know what's going to happen. And not knowing what's going to happen is actually fun if they tell a good story. So it's like, people can be mad when they don't follow the book, but when they don't follow the book but still follow the script, it's really enjoyable. And that's what I want to get to. I want to see them not follow the book, but definitely follow the script. So we get all the emotional beats that we need, but I won't know what's going to happen because it's going to be an exciting new universe. I may know the laws of physics in this universe, but I don't know what's going to happen next. And
since the levitating orgasms, I don't think we know the physics of this universe.
Vampires fly, everyone knows that.
Not all, though.
Well, the older ones do.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's where you get that thin bloodline. You get the youngest of vampires who are like, basically just goth kids.
Yeah.
And technically, we are vampires, but really we get no powers and we're just goth kids, and we don't like the sun, which is like, I know that's called being a goth kid, but
just thinking about those South Park goth kids.
Somebody burn down the Hot Topic quick.
I know this is a thing.
Well, heck, Hot Topic's about to be out of business in the next 5 years. It is a slow march to death. If you've been in one recently, nothing. Not even. They don't even have good Funko Pops now. I'm ordering off the website.
Yeah, less and less. You might get a couple Harry Potter things, and
not for nothing. I don't know if malls as a structure are going to survive.
Well, if Bezos keeps it up and burns out all the warehouse workers, we're going to have to shop somewhere.
Well, to be
never count the ball out, buddy. As a 90s kid.
There will always malls will survive. There will always be old people who fear technology and
don't want to use their credit card on a website.
Sorry, Mom.
But no, because that's the thing. It's like we have a new mega mall here in Jersey, of course, but it's
the one with the Toys R Us. That one.
Possibly.
With all the dead bodies buried under it.
Its big selling point is that it's got like a little theme park inside of it.
Yeah, that's the one with the Toys R Us.
Yeah,
And the dead mobsters.
Which is, what stores you put in there is irrelevant. The whole thing is we're going to build a little place you can come to where you can do a water slide or ski in the middle of the summer. So you can either go on a water slide in the middle of the winter or ski in the middle of summer. That's our thing. And, here's a bunch of stores you can spend money at.
Over a year ago, you dick. No, I invented that, you dick.
What? I don't know what that means. Anywho's.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like it. The critics seem to really like it. A couple of, probably the same Marvel fans that get upset when, quote unquote, everything gets blackwashed. Probably don't like it, but I've heard, like, a lot of good, like, critics that usually don't like stuff like this, so I'm happy for it.
Well, yeah, it's decent enough, I mean, I don't see any real problem with the dang thing. It's a decent enough.
It added some spice to the background because, again, like I said, every other version before, it's just like, Louis a plantation owner. 5 minutes later, he gets bit. He's a vampire.
Well, yeah, exactly. But as we say, it's still keeping with the spirit of it.
Mm-hmm.
You keep with the spirit of this idea of, here's a horrible human being who exploits human beings and causes evil. All right. You guys want to talk comic books?
Sure.
Okay. I have an indie book. This is from last week, but I didn't get to talk about it.
Bill's Comics Corner.
Oh, thank you. Department of Truth, issue 21. Don't know if you kids have been following the Department of Truth. They are currently engaged in the battle to end all of reality. Yay! This is basically... So, as it turns out, the American Gold Depository is not in Fort Knox. It's in a little adjacent bunker off of Fort Knox. But because society had said for so many years that all of America's gold was in Fort Knox, eventually Hawk finds the secret elevator that goes to the repository that is filled with gold. And effectively, the Department of Truth has been utilizing this non-space reality where infinite gold was hidden to both finance their operations, because they had infinite gold from the place that people believed existed, and to house things like Mothman. And, right now we're dealing with the Black Hats, as we said, which is the evil billionaires who are trying to control the narrative from their perspective. And they have gotten to our hero's husband, who may try to break the story because he works for the Washington Post. So it is really exciting. Honestly, Department of Truth is probably one of the best comic books out there today. I highly recommend people buy it. That is my review.
Little Hellfire.
I'm trying to decide between the Bat books, I guess.
Oh,
talk about another barrage. I guess we could talk about. Actually, no. I'm gonna talk about Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths: The Deadly Green #1.
Yep.
Now, which green is this? Is this the green or Green
Yes,
Lantern?
it's a Swamp Thing focus book.
We
But Superman's in it, so
There you be.
it
Well-
doesn't really. No, Superman and Swamp Thing do not. No.
Well, John
it
Kent.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't work for me, and of course Pariah pops his ugly head into it. It just, I don't know. Dark Crisis is just a mess, and everything that it touches makes a mess of it too. So I'll be glad when it's done. Like, this didn't need to be a book. Like, they're trying to pretend like they care about Swamp Thing. So, like, the TV show didn't do good. So, like, why do you care about Swamp Thing? Leave it alone. Leave it alone before you make it worse. That's just how they're making it worse. That's all.
Yeah, I think they were trying to play it like, Swamp Thing and Pariah had some kind of connection way back in Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm like, really?
Boo!
What?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Unless you're going to wind it back to 1985. Shut up.
Exactly.
I hear you.
Yeah, so womp womp for me.
Whoa.
I didn't read too many DC books.
That's
I have to get back on the horse. A month of not reading like new issues was such a breath of fresh air. Like, you don't even know.
Well, I was gonna say we could save if you wanted to save Bat and
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I know we should save the Bat books for.
Well,
We Are the Night, the Batman podcast.
Ray's favorite show. Did you read King Spawn 15?
Of course I did. It's like the only thing that's keeping me going in like comic books right now.
Nice.
Well, all the Spawn books actually. I really do enjoy them all. I like Gunslinger the best, but King Spawn's pretty good too.
Did you think that, I know you, what was it? Not the last one, but the one before that, Gunslinger, you weren't too happy with. Did you think they turned it around in the last one, or?
Yeah, they did. Like I said, I think they finally have the goal in sight for what they want to do, and we're going to probably see a massive crossover pretty soon, I'm thinking. The way that all the books are kind of converging to, like, they kind of all slow down, now they're picking up pace, so I think we're working towards something.
I mean, they all
big.
kind of filter in and out of each book every so often, so it might
like
as well.
A big Marvel style.
Yeah,
event.
but that's what I'm saying. It might as well. They all show up anyway.
I'm talking the Marvel model. Todd McFarlane wants some money because we got the Spawn movie update. He is a man on a mission right now. So I wouldn't be surprised for the next big Spawn issue that there's this huge thing and in preparation for the movie and stuff. So
Crisis on Infinite Spawn.
I mean, we got another Batman Spawn book coming out. So I'm just
December.
It's crazy. Like I said, he's a man on a mission, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he has planned for the Spawn universe. So maybe I'll get my Spawn car finally.
Oh, nice.
In the movie.
Spawnmobile. I'm all here for that.
I should actually tweet him that picture. I'm like, I need this in the movie, sir. Just so that I can sell it for more money on eBay.
Oh!
Do you have a Spawnmobile?
We'll leave that
I do.
out.
It's like, it's nothing. Like, it was just like, I picked it up at a toy store. It's not from a comic. It's not from anything. It's not from the movie. It's just a Todd McFarlane Spawnmobile.
Just slap the Spawn logo on a race car.
Yeah, that's all he did. So I'm like, yeah, I need this in the movie so I can sell it for more on eBay.
Not for nothing. I mean, look how big this Spider Buggy got out of nowhere. It's like that is like now a key component of the Marvel universe in a weird way. It's like, well, if you go there, you will have to find the Spider Buggy because that is the greatest. That is like the lost Ark of the Covenant of Marvel. Hey kids, Miracleman #0.
Oh yeah, I read that.
I loved this. This is the first Miracleman book I've ever read, and I'm in love with the character and the concept and everything within it.
Kimota.
You even like the writer?
I liked there's like 17 writers.
Yes, there's like 17 of them, but mostly Neil Gaiman is like basically the executive writer.
Well, I love Neil Gaiman. This Big Ben guy, I want to see a lot more with him. He seems like fun. And granted, I get this. I get the idea of. I understand the concept of Miracleman in numerous ideas within his structure. But
Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam. It's like if Shazam meets the Sandman meets Sentry. It's. And I know Sentry came later, but Sentry did it in an interesting way within his own universal construct. I would love to see Miracleman come into that construct, and that is, and honestly, it's great.
So it wasn't too convoluted for you as a new reader?
No, it all made perfect sense.
Because I know a lot of people who weren't like familiar were like kind of complaining about that, but I thought it flowed pretty well, explained everything. It was a perfect introduction, in my opinion. Because there's a lot going on with that character.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and again, this is what I'm saying. It's like the Miracleman stuff was okay. What really got for me was like Jack's a gun. They boiled me hard. The detective, that was brilliant, and he's got his the miracle babies, and he has a time gun that can destroy them, which is cool. The great Katoma idol, which is its own thing to reveal. The aging writer whose creations come and meet him. I mean, these are all great ideas in how they're explored, how they're done. I even like the little Life in Hell bit they did here, where they do the Matt Groening style here. They do the Miracle Funnies page. If it's funny, it's a miracle. And again, the Little Nemo reference, which I love Little Nemo references. Not Finding Nemo, kids. Little Nemo. He was a god character who lived in dreams back many years ago. But no, Miracleman #0. This was worth $6, and I almost never say that. Not since God Loves Man Kills have I said a book was worth $6. This was worth $6.
But no, like I want to read that. I'm going to read that. But I know, like, what was it, like 10, 12 years ago? I think Marvel put out some reprints of Miracleman, and I thought that was going to lead to like an ongoing, and like nothing really ever happened.
They just needed some cash from some nerds. You know how they do.
So are they finally going to pull the trigger on that and do like an ongoing?
Oh yeah, they have the green light. They're going to be writing kind of like how DeMatteis is like doing like World's Finest, like in that timeless era. They commissioned Neil and Mark Buckingham, who did the art on Neil's story. They're going to be like the guys for like Miracleman, the Silver Age is what they're working on. So.
Oh well, you mean Mark Waid?
Oh, whoops, sorry. What am I thinking of?
Whoever.
You said DeMatteis, but Mark Waid.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, well, she said DeMatteis is doing something similar.
Well, then she said World's Finest.
Yeah.
Which is Mark Waid.
Yeah. They're all trying to go back to that timeless 80s feel, everybody, or 90s.
This is why I don't learn who creates the books. I don't care. I just want to know.
At DC, they're just, I mean, it's not that they're desperate, it's that they're finally, like, learning that, hey, man, we want the 80s and 90s back.
I told you,
They
man.
were the best time of comics.
I think Dark Crisis is rolling a lot of stuff back.
God, but it's tainting everything with it, so they're going to have to start new. It's like they're literally flushing everything down the toilet. So...
Yeah. You know what we need? We need books with small print, with footnotes explaining how everything came.
No, we just need more Red Sonja.
I need my Marvel Saga. I just want...
No. We need more Red Sonja. Because another freaking unbreakable Red Sonja by your friend Jim Zub. Just saying. So, yeah.
Yep. Because didn't he say it's the
That's a good book. It's a good book.
Didn't he say
Art's stunning. Story's great.
Yeah, I think he said their
50th anniversary.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I love Red Sonja, so, can't go wrong with this.
Redhead with a sword. They had Lil from day one.
Yep. Not gonna even lie.
Although I will say I still pronounce it Red Sonja. So
I
know I'm the wrong one, but I don't care.
If pronouncing words is right, or if mispronouncing words is wrong, I don't want to be right.
I read it, and
Lock
that's
them up, boys.
Give them
that's
the
how
chair.
the letters were put there. That's how my mind reads them. I ain't arguing.
They're made up words. Who says how? Who says how they're pronounced? The writer? Get out of here.
Just my Hyborian accent. Okay, what do you guys got? Anything else?
Lil, do you have any other ones you want to throw out, or?
No, you gonna throw one out, Phil?
Let me see. Anything worthy? Gotta get through all the Bat books.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hear you flipping through the Bat books. I hear.
Oh, did anybody read the last part of New Fantastic Four?
Nah.
No.
They basically...
I'll catch it in trade.
They basically beat...
It's been that kind of year for Fantastic Four, unfortunately.
They basically beat Mephisto and the demons.
You never really beat Mephisto as much as send him back to his house for a couple of weeks. So...
And, a little foreshadowing, because this is in the past. Oh, this Sin City is most interesting. I must remember it and return someday to have some entertainment. I'm like, who is this, Little Hellfire? Setting up that crossover a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
But no, that priest who turned out to be the son of Mephisto is hitchhiking out of Vegas and gets picked up. Guess who's driving by just happens to pick him up? Damian Hellstrom.
I was going to say Ghost Rider.
Nope. No, his brother, Damian Hellstrom.
Close enough. Clearly, mainstream wasn't ready for that because that show went nowhere. So. Neither did Ghost Rider, though. The world's not ready for another Ghost Rider just yet.
Oh, did you see? Keanu Reeves must have said if he had his choice of MCU roles, he'd want to be Ghost Rider.
No, babes, I didn't.
He wants to be Johnny Blaze.
Listen. As much as I love Keanu, the Keanu Renaissance is over. The Matrix killed it.
Ooh.
And Cyberpunk 2077 not working also killed it. I'm over it.
Don't say that. We need more unproblematic actors in Hollywood. Come on.
Let him retire and be with his lady love. Like, it's time. We get the John Wick TV show. He can executive produce that. That's going to go for like 10 seasons. It might be the next Supernatural. Who knows?
Wasn't he doing that comic? How's that going?
Yeah, the Cyberpunk comic book.
Oh,
still going.
Wasn't it? Was it Berserker? Or whatever?
Oh no, it was Berserker. You're right. I think that's still going.
I was gonna
I
say.
see it on my guy's comic book shelf all the time. New ones.
I was gonna say, is it doing decent numbers or?
I wouldn't know. I don't check for that. Not my kind of comic book.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't even looked at. I don't know, but more power too.
Yeah. On that note, we should probably wrap it up.
On
Probably
that-
got a whole another show to do.
That's right. All right, so. Oh, that's right, kids. Send in your thoughts, your questions next week. We'll be recording on Saturday because we'll be talking to Charles Skaggs about his story in the DC anthology, DC Terrors
Happy
Through
spooky
Time.
season!
And Lilith, did I tell you he said he wrote a JSA story?
Yeah, I saw.
So yes.
Oh, there is a JSA. Well, there's a Black Adam book out if you guys want to read it. It's pretty cool from the JSA files this week.
Aren't those based on the movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay.
pretty cool.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's about Dr. Fate.
I'm excited for the movie. It's trending to be a big hit. So
Yeah, you can't trust trends though.
I know.
Just the kids
I
love
like
to
when
meme.
The Rock
Listen,
has-
kids love to meme you into bankruptcy. Just look at it's Morbin time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Kids love to pull a financial prank.
yeah, re-release it.
Yo.
Yeah, re-release it in the theaters. We'll go see it. Wink. We promise.
He's dumb enough to fall for it too.
Yeah, how many screens you gonna put on? Double it. All right. So
I just think The Rock and when you have The Rock and Pierce Brosnan.
No. It's all about Aldous Hodges. First of all, he's gonna carry. Mark my words, he's gonna carry this movie on his back.
Hawkman.
I'm sorry.
If you know, you know.
If you say so.
All right.
Yes, he doesn't know,
Nothing
guys.
against the actor. Nothing. I am not the biggest fan of Hawkman. I will say
Well,
it.
this Hawkman's awesome. That's all that. It's gonna be the best thing about the movie. Maybe a little birdie told me. I don't know.
We're gonna have to see.
All
What
right.
I will say is that apparently, if you're gonna give Rock anything, it's that he is very humble and does not demand the spotlight. So.
Laughs and Fast and Furious franchise fan. Anyway.
All right. Anyway, so yes, next week we'll be talking to Charles about that story. So send your questions for that, and then in 2 weeks, yes, I believe that's our Black Adam. Wait, is that 2 weeks for our Black Adam review? I think so.
Shouldn't that be the Black Panther review?
No, Black Panther's not till November.
Yeah.
It's still October? Come on.
Dude!
For this year to be over with.
Dude, we're not even at the halfway mark yet. Come on. She lost all sense of time and space when she was off.
Yeah, I really did.
Although before they started putting a bunch of white people in it, I actually thought I saw a tweet of that or a Facebook post from 10 years ago about hey, is Black Adam going to be DC's Black Panther?
It never was.
I told you. The other reason DC's releasing it now is they want people to get, people who don't know to get confused, be like, oh, is this the next Black Panther movie?
Listen, anybody that knows MCU is not harming.
Yeah, but they're tricking the old people. They're tricking the.
Old people are watching whatever those war movies that are coming out. That's what they're watching. They're not watching MCU.
I don't know. There's probably old. All the old retirees go to the movies every 2 days on that senior discount.
Oh, you mean Maverick?
No, not that. There's another one that's coming out. Even it's more of an older movie. It's got Jonathan Majors in it. See, y'all don't even know the movie I'm talking about. That's my whole.
Sounds familiar.
There's always a war movie coming out.
See, unfortunately, you say Jonathan Majors, and for some
He's
reason,
in 8 movies too. I know.
Yeah, and my mind pulled up Tom Poston. I don't know why.
You might want to rearrange the warehouse, Charlie.
Oh, almost like a council of cross-time Jonathan Majors, you say?
Oh, there we go. That's
Yes, Kang. Yes.
Why is he filed next to Tom Poston? I have no idea. Although to be fair, Tom Poston looks like he could be named Jonathan Majors. It's a very nondescript name.
That's the point.
Nothing.
A big, broad-shouldered guy.
When you go to auditions, that's the point. Is a black guy. Just ask Jamie Foxx.
Oh,
fair enough.
No, in Hollywood, you get to be the black guy at the moment. And I believe Jonathan Majors is that guy at the moment.
Michael B. Jordan's still holding it down.
No, maybe.
There's two.
Maybe.
Two. Because the next Creed's coming out, and Jonathan Majors is also in that movie.
But I was going to say, you can't like turn around, you can't turn on TV, you can't go anywhere without hearing Jonathan Majors' name on something.
I don't watch commercials, so I don't know.
Anyway.
Time to do our song and dance, Phil.
I've been trying! Alright, kids, so send your thoughts for, send your questions for Charles, and then send your questions or your thoughts on the Black Adam. Anyway, email us, CapesandLunatics.
Give it a chance, Phil!
I'm giving it a chance. Hey, if it's if it's Shakespeare, I will admit it, but alright, so we gotta need to take up drinking. Anyway, alright, kids, email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Find links to all the various social medias for all our shows. The Facebook fan groups. Follow all the social media so you're up to date on everything, including stuff coming up next year, like Salty and Petty.
Not yet, Phil.
What? Oh, please. We were like, no one knows about that yet already. All right, kids. So, Salty and Petty. And make sure you can catch everything we do on our YouTube channel. So, everything gets a video. So, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a moment of all the madness.
Smash it.
All of September is still up there.
September.
Whatever. All right. And most importantly, please, if you can, please subscribe to our Patreon. Once again, we're paying for that, paying for this out of our own pocket. Every little bit helps, but $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester Chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And because Little Hellfire loves the pain and suffering of human beings.
It's almost over. Stop being a baby.
More than Lestat. Superhero movie brackets. We will find the worst superhero movie of all time.
You're gonna, well, maybe you won't. I don't know. This last one's gonna be pretty rough.
Well, again, this one coming up is going to be Spawn versus Meteor Man, and then in November we're going to have to pick a winner between the Marvel, DC, and Indies. So that's it. We're going to take all the crap, the three crappiest, and throw them in a bag and see what comes out.
It's good to me.
And merch, Capes and Lunatics merch. Find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics.
The E is for Estonia.
Oh my. All right. Newly returned and newly intoxicated Little Hellfire. Where can people get a hold of you?
I am not intoxicated, first of all. I'm sober as a judge, but I've never met a judge that was sober, but that's beside the point. If you guys want to hang out with me on the interwebs, find me on Twitter at Little Hellfire, on Instagram at Little Hellfire69, and of course on TikTok, making all the comments and maybe a little bit of content. I don't know. Come find out at Little Hellfire69.
Either do the 6 or do the 9. Let me get a ride on your alligator back, bro. It's all rape and murder, I'll tell you that. Somebody's muffin's getting buttered. That ain't my business.
Charles Esser.
Well, they can always write to me in the old-fashioned email, way the way our mothers and fathers once did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And then, of course, follow me on the Twitters. I tweet things when I feel like it, and it's convenient. At Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEssser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! Have you been watching Stargirl?
I did. I do like it. I just, there's been some conflicts recently, and then when I did not have a conflict, it was a rerun, and then just recently, this last episode I watched, but my phone was out of power, so I couldn't watch.
Some shows you just want to enjoy. I totally get it.
And I get it. I actually am really excited about Stargirl. I like where it's going. I like the premise that it's establishing. I'm hoping we're not going to do a lot of heel turns. I'm hoping that there's more face turns. I like when there's face turns. What can I say, There's no reason for everyone to be a villain, especially young kids. Young kids turn into villains. Well, still. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously. And not for nothing, we can see that going on with Our Man. I mean, that is the heel turn I anticipate. He took out the limiter. Do you think that there's a limiter there for a reason, dude?
Push it to the limit!
And for gosh sake, Starman is just such a bad bitch. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, oh, that's probably the limiter. Yeah, well, he put a limiter in there for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, that limits how long it can go. So, maybe if you take it out, it's like, oh God, you preaching. Okay, enough of that.
Play the music, Phil.
I was ready to. It's just, hey, I want Stargirl. See, Lilith missed this.
What's this mess?
All right, kids. Here's the whole thing you came for, what you paid the money for. All right, for another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics!
Yay!
By the way, who was doing the Lunatics while I was gone? That
I only do one word, man. That's all they pay me for.
Lunatics! Yeah, I ain't gonna pay him extra for it.
So
Gonna pay him
whoever
for-
else is there.
Gonna pay him for 2 words? No, it's the symbol.
Well, no, also wouldn't make sense because you break to the ampersand, then it has to go to someone else. So obviously, for 2 starts.
I figured you would have just done the drop though. But...
I was having music playing over it. It'd be kind of difficult.
Like, we can afford the royalties to play your drops.
She's a queen.
Good night, Wisconsin!